Welcome to Crazy here in the morning with Cupcake. You know, I kind of want to talk about this bullshit division that we've got inside our industry here. And I call it bullshit right now because after thinking for a few days, kind of stepping outside myself, removing myself, my ego, my pride, just my wants and desires from the situation, and trying to look at it and looking at it from a different point of view. And it has to do with this broker transparency that everybody's arguing right now. I hear a lot of it in here. A lot of people are saying, have said and keep saying that, it ain't nobody's business what anybody else makes. And I'm guilty of that too. I've said it myself. And in all actuality, there is a right on that and there is a wrong on that. And I'm going to explain that right now. At no point is any carrier or driver allowed to say that we are going to not follow this rule or regulation, and we are just because we don't want to. I mean, yeah, we do some of that stuff every day. We don't follow the speed limits, or we might accidentally roll a stop sign, or we're a little over on our axle or something like that. And we're like, we only got 50 miles to go down the road, Or you push a cracked windshield an extra day because you're waiting for a safe light to come fix it or whatever. We all do it. The thing of it is, though, is we are not able to continuously just do it and over and over and over again and rub it in anybody's face. We don't get to just sign a waiver or send a waiver to the cop and say, hey, for today, we're not following the speed limits. We don't get to say, well, for today, we're going to use our phone, put our phone in our hand and pay our attention to fucking TikTok all day. And not, we're not going to abide by the no distracted driving rule that's out there. And I think that's what it is. When you take yourself out of this, and I'm going to challenge anybody to this, and a lot of people that have went through and said, Roger, challenging you, Cisco, I'm going to challenge you. Why do the brokers not have to follow that rule 371.3C? We don't get to, as carriers and drivers, we're upheld to a higher standard at all times that states that we cannot just waive a rule or regulation. We have to follow them. We have to abide by them. I can't just go through and say, you know what? Well, for this year, I'm waiving the rule and regulation that I have to abide by the Drug and Alcohol Clearinghouse. And so I can go do whatever I want. I don't have to submit to any random drug tests. I can drink and drive if I would like to, or I can drug and drive if I would like to. You don't get to say that. No carrier gets to say that. So this right here is where I challenge everyone. If we, the carriers and truck drivers, have to follow all the rules and regulations, then so do the brokers. And I know this is probably going to chime up some people, and we're liable to lose some followers over this one. But this one here, I have to say that there are rules and regulations that are in place. As carriers and drivers, we have to follow them. We do not get to say it is a regulatory obligation. It's a rule and regulation that states it. At no point is anyone allowed to waive a rule or regulation. It states that. It's literally in the laws. You cannot go through and it's that everybody talks about that 14101. It states right in there. You're not allowed to waive any rule or regulation. Prove me I'm wrong that we don't have to follow all rules and regulations. And that's a rule and regulation. If it's in the 49 CFR, that's the Code of Federal Rules and Regulations. So you are not able to waive that because you're waiving their regulatory obligation to a rule or regulation. That's all anybody wants, it seems like, as I talk about this with some people and I get outside of myself. So yeah, I was wrong. Brokers, you got to fucking follow the rules and regulations just like we do. And I think that's why everybody's pissed off, is because they say that we don't have to follow that rule or regulation just because we say so. Well, we don't get to do that as drivers and carriers. So, yeah. Food for thought, y'all. Come challenge me on that idea that you don't have to follow all rules and regulations. Please. I'll sit here and eat my popcorn while you make a fool of yourself. There is no rule or regulation that you get to waive. And you know what's worse? It took me this long to figure this out. So, yeah. Brokers, you have to follow all rules and regulations. This is why Leander, when he submitted that to the FMCSA, it's liable to happen for not following the rules and regulations. And considering that the FMCSA has already ordered TQL to remove that waiver because it goes against the rules and regulations of the federal government, I don't know. Food for thought, y'all. Y'all have a good day.